Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Positive Vibe. It is episode number 3 on this Monday, September 22nd, 2025. And I am Jason DeCanio, your gracious host and moderator for another edition of this new show that is only 3 episodes in. And I'll explain that right now as to why we've only had 3 episodes over the course of our season debut on September 8th. Let me explain. As you all know, Charlie KIRK, who was faith activist and conservative, got assassinated on September 10th. Not even one day we were into this new medium. So we did episode 2 on the 10th and found out that he had been assassinated that day. So after that, and we did a whole show of the Positive Vibe talking about Charlie KIRK's assassination and what had happened and how great of a person he was. After that, we had taken a solid 10 days off from that point to come back to this. In that 10 days, we took time to basically remember what Charlie KIRK stood for, what he meant to our country, and how he was bringing us together instead of dividing us. And here on the Positive Vibe, we definitely remember him as a great person, a conservative that was trying to bring us together to a more peaceful conclusion in life. So, with all of what has been done, the memorial was yesterday, and over 300,000 people attended that memorial. So let's take a look at the headlines, the positive headlines of the weekend. That's what we're looking at. Also, too, why is Oktoberfest in September? That's going to be one of our headlines, one of our topics today. When is the first day of fall, the autumn equinox in 2025? And the old great article of autumn versus fall, why Americans say fall and not autumn. As you know, yesterday was the first day of autumn or fall, or however you want to pronounce it, or however you want to say it. It's not wrong. We also have the daily motivation of the day, and we'll look at that toward the end of our program tonight. We go for an hour and a half, so let's start it off with the positive news of the day. And this, of course, is from the 1440 in partnership with Tango. Yeah. So an estimated 200,000 people attended a memorial service honoring conservative activist Charlie KIRK yesterday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The service was organized by Turning Point USA, the youth organization KIRK co-founded, which is now led by his widow, Erica KIRK. The event included speeches by Christian leaders, conservative activists, and public officials, including Secretaries Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Marco Rubio, and Pete Hegseth. Vice President J.D. Vance credited KIRK with helping to elect the Trump administration, and President Donald Trump headlined the event, praising KIRK's impact and legacy. Erica KIRK, in her first major speech as Turning Point USA's CEO, publicly forgave KIRK's shooter, citing her Christian faith. The service was designated as a special event assessment rating level 1 event, the highest designation used for events like the Super Bowl and major marathons. The determination is made by the Department of Homeland Security, allowing extensive federal interagency support. The United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia formally recognized a Palestinian state yesterday. The decision breaks from U.S. policy and marks a significant shift for countries like the UK, which has long maintained the stand that statehood should be determined through direct negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians. The decision allows the countries to receive a Palestinian ambassador and sign bilateral treaties. The 3 cities cited the ongoing war in Gaza, including restrictions on humanitarian aid, as well as expanding settlements in the West Bank for the change. Families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas in Gaza had asked the UK and others to hold off on the decision until hostages were released, citing concerns that recognition could appear to reward Hamas and affect ceasefire negotiations. Nearly a dozen countries have announced similar plans since last year, with others, including France, expected to make similar announcements today as countries gather for the UN General Assembly. At least 150 of the 193 UN member states recognize Palestine as a state. A 3,000-year-old golden bracelet recently stolen from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo was sold for about $4,000 and melted down, officials revealed Saturday. A restoration specialist at the museum reportedly confessed to pilfering the artifact. The bracelet belonged to Pharaoh Amenemope, I guess, who ruled during the 21st dynasty in what is known as the Third Intermediate Period. While his 9-year rule was relatively unremarkable, his burial site is one of just 3 known royal tombs that were discovered fully intact, most having been looted over the millennia. And Egypt has strict rules regarding the protection of antiquities. Theft of artifacts is punishable by a roughly $200,000 fine and life in prison. And the theft comes just weeks before the similarly named Grand Egyptian Museum is set to open near Giza on November 1st, due to the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization. Yep. And, unbiased news for unbeatable understanding. Read the details, weigh the facts, make up your own mind. We like the sound of that, and we're guessing as a 1440 reader, you do too, which is why you should know about one of our favorite newsletters, The Tangle. So if you are subscribed to The Tangle, know it. Las Vegas Aces Aja Wilson becomes the first player to be named WNBA MVP 4 times. The semifinals kickoff. See the latest bracket and schedule if you follow the WNBA. Bernie Parent, Hockey Hall of Fame goalie, has died at the age of 80. Brett James, Grammy-winning songwriter, dies in a plane crash at the age of 57. Sonny Curtis, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame singer-songwriter, is dead at the age of 88. Team USA women and men win the 4x100 meter relays to break record for most national gold medals at a World Track and Field Championships. Cal Riley hits his 58th home run to pass Ken Griffey Jr. for the Seattle Mariners franchise record. U.S. health regulators greenlight accelerated approval for the first treatment for Barth syndrome, an ultra-rare condition affecting cells' ability to produce energy. And a new study finds pancreatic alpha cells naturally produce GLP-1, which is the hormone mimicked by new weight loss drugs, how semaglutides work. And an archaeologist uncovered a 1,600-year-old copper coin stash in underground tunnels in northern Israel, dating to the last Jewish rebellion under Roman rule. Stock markets closed higher on Friday, with all 3 indexes reaching all-time highs. President Donald Trump announces $100,000 fees for new H-1B applicants, up from $2,000 to $5,000 per applicant. Amazon, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, and other finance and technological companies use the visa to recruit workers from abroad. Rupert Murdoch, Larry Ellison, and Michael Dell are part of the group interested in buying TikTok, and President Trump reveals and Ellison's Oracle would handle data and security. Americans will sit on 6 out of 7 board seats. Wow. And you could be wasting hundreds every year on overpriced insurance. The experts at Finance Buzz believe they can help. If your rate went up the last 12 months, check out this new tool from the Smarter Auto to see if you're overpaying in just a few clicks. They match drivers with companies reporting savings of $600 or more per year when switching. Plus, once you use it, you'll always have access to the lowest rates. Best yet, it's free. Answer a few easy questions to see how much you could be saving. California Governor Gavin Newsom signs a law banning the use of face masks by most law enforcement officers, including federal immigration agents. U.S. naval forces lethally strike a 4th vessel accused of smuggling drugs from the Caribbean. And President Donald Trump says he ousted the U.S. prosecutor investigating New York Attorney General Letitia James and nominates a White House aide to replace him. A cyber attack targeting check-in systems at European airports causes dozens of flight delays in the UK, Germany, and Belgium. And had enough of one-sided news? Us too, and that's why we like Tangle. In a world of partisan opinions, biased arguments, clickbait, and more, this new newsletter offers a refreshing approach to the news. They break down one big topic in American politics, then share the best arguments they can find from the left, right, and center. They package all the insights and argument up to a 10-minute read, drop it in your box, and let you do the rest. Recent examples include the Charlie Kirk assassination, what we just read, and whether or not phones should be banned in school. Yep. So you have other topics, etc., and all the other topics you can look at today. And this, if you can sign up on with your email, it is free. You'll be able to follow us as we give you today's headlines, as we did right there. We'll be back with a look at News of the Weird when we return with more of the positive vibe right after these very important messages.
It's the quick, thick, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish. It's the clean, green, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish.
Swish's thick green liquid clings to the bowl, clings to the rim, and it cleans as it clings. It deep cleans, it fights rust, and nicest of all, Swish releases a fresh cut fragrance.
It's the quick, thick, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish. It's the clean, green, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish.
It cleans as it clings.
It's not the 4th of July, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not even Christmas. It's better than all those. It's Crazy Eddie Day. You'll save money like never before during Crazy Eddie's Crazy Eddie Day sale with the guaranteed lowest prices on anything and everything in home entertainment. Shop around, get the lowest sale prices you can find, then go to Crazy Eddie and he'll beat him. It's Crazy Eddie Day. Save big, big, big bucks during Crazy Eddie's Crazy Eddie Day sale. Crazy Eddie, his prices are insane. Thanks a lot.
You made new, decaffeinated just for me. Now there's something new under the sun. Introducing Lipton Decaffeinated Instant Iced Tea.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Yes, Lipton also has a decaffeinated instant tea any way you like it. With sugar, with NutraSweet, or unsweetened. Delicious.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for us.
You know, to clarify butter is particularly simple. All you do is put half a pound of butter into a saucepan. After 10 minutes, it looks like this with a foam on the top. You skim the foam off the top and place that into one Dixie cup. Then you take, when you've got all the foam off, and you pour the clear, clarified butter into the other Dixie cup. And it keeps beautifully, you know. You can fry with this, you can butter vegetables with this one. And don't forget, in Dixie cups.
Ice cream, Carvel ice cream. We make fresh ice cream every day at Carvel Ice Cream. America's freshest ice cream every way at Carvel Ice Cream. Fresh Carvel ice cream.
Okay, welcome back to the Positive Vibe. Let's get you to the News of the Weird and the lead story for the week of September 19th, 2025. Not ready for prime time. Once again, Chuck Shepard and his group of cronies from Andrews McNeil Syndication for uexpress.com brings you News of the Weird. Chuck Shepard, of course, has been retired for quite some time now, but his legacy still lives on. And I would like to do an interview with him one of these days and ask him about how it all got started. But anyways, let's look at the first of many of News of the Weird in this second half of our first half hour. At a rehearsal on September 16th for an air show in Changchun, China, two flying cars collided while performing difficult stunts, CNN reported. The electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles are intended to be part of a low-altitude economy in China, which includes flying taxis, drone deliveries, and other services below 3,000 meters. Zepang Arahat, the company that makes the vehicles, said the collision happened because of insufficient spacing. All personnel at the scene are safe. However, an unidentified employee said one pilot sustained minor injuries. 45-year-old Officer David Jewell of the Edgewater, Florida, the police department, was killed on September 15th, MSN reported. at the Circle K in Ormond Beach. Jewel he died after being shot by Circle K employee Eduardo Felipe Labrada Machado, who was 24 years of age. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said Machado confessed to the shooting, telling authorities that he was having a bad day on his drive to work and had thought about shooting Jewel earlier because Jewel carried a firearm and Machado was afraid of him. Machado's family members said he has been diagnosed with a mental health disorder in the past. As Jessica Preciado drove on a freeway on September 15th in Los Angeles County, she heard a pop, then immediately experienced a sharp pain in her backside. Yahoo News reported that Preciado said she thought she'd been shot, but when paramedics arrived, they saw that her left buttock had been pierced by a metal rod that had come through the rear of her Ford Fusion and the driver's seat. I was so confused as to where this injury was coming from, Preciado said. Now recovering from the accident, she believes the rod must have fallen off of a truck and urges drivers to secure their loads before hitting the road. In Szezard, Hungary, on September 6th, more than 20 teams competed in the International Grave Digging Championship. Oddity Central reported the contest is sponsored by the country's Association of Cemetery Operators and Maintainers and is intended to raise the prestige of the profession. Teams of two must dig graves 2 meters long, 80 centimeters wide, and 1.6 meters deep within 2 hours. Then shovel the dirt back into the holes to create a neat burial mound. Contestants are judged on speed, accuracy, and attention to detail. The Hungarian team of Laszlo Kiss and Robert Nagy won the first prize for the second year in a row. The winners credited their success to the routine they developed in their daily work without any special training, the MTFE said. The Russian team came in last, blaming their performance on the hot weather. Oh, poor babies. I guess it's just too cold in Russia for you. I don't know. And meanwhile, in Scotland, scandal erupted at the World Stone Skimming Championship. United Press International reported on September 16th, the stones used in the contest are required to be naturally occurring slate from the island of Easdale, where the match takes place. But several contestants were found to be using stones that had been smoothed and shaped by machine. Kyle Matthews, the tossmaster, said he contacted the individuals who admitted their transgressions, and I had to disqualify them. Matthews said the organizers are considering having competitors choose from already vetted stones in the future rather than providing their own. Jonathan Jennings of Kentucky became the first American to win the adult male category. Repeat champion Lucy Woods won the adult female category. Wow. The Times reported that on September 15th, as a French airliner prepared to land in Corsica, the pilot ended up having to circle around the Mediterranean Sea for 18 minutes, unable to get a response from the air traffic control tower. The flight from Paris was an hour late, arriving after midnight, and only one controller was on the job. As the aircraft circled, the airport's fire crew went to the tower and found the controller asleep at his desk. He woke up, switched on the runway lights, and cleared the jet to approach. The pilot said the passengers treated the incident with good humor, and the controller was tested for drugs and alcohol, for which he was clean. More than 50 animals, mostly cats and a few others, vied for the title of Bike Path Mayor this summer in Somerville, Massachusetts. NBC Boston TV reported. On September 14th, Minerva the cat, whose one-word campaign slogan was crime, took the honors. Somerville residents were able to vote via a QR code in an election that had been going on since July. Only one Somervillian said Minerva's platform of crime, I think, really resonated with people. Crime. A cat. Interesting. Minerva the cat. And a cameraman touring with singer-songwriter Benson Boone was arrested in Clearwater, Florida, on charges of criminal mischief and disorderly intoxication after he allegedly entered the surf style shop on September 11th and relieved himself on almost $700 worth of clothing. The smoking gun reported that Tyler Capehart, 39 years of age, of Georgia, told cops that he had consumed alcohol and smoked marijuana, but he said he had no recollection of peeing on the clothing in the store. He posted $650 bond and was released. Just after midnight on September 15th, the man swam up to the Paddlefish restaurant in Disney Springs, Florida, removed his wetsuit and scuba gear, and robbed the restaurant, WFTV reported. Orange County deputies said the thief allegedly walked into the manager's office where the night's take was being counted and ordered 2 employees to stand in the corner and close their eyes. He tied them up, then scooped up tens of thousands of dollars and left, putting his gear back on and swimming into the night. The sheriff's office said the investigation is ongoing. Oh, my gosh. 40-year-old Casper Lincoln of Prince George, British Columbia, was pulled over around 9 a.m. on September 5th as he piloted a hot pink kid's Barbie Jeep down a busy road, WJW-TV reported. And during the stop, police realized Lincoln had a suspended license. Oh, and he tested over the legal limit for alcohol. Wow. Lincoln said he really wanted a Slurpee, so he took his girlfriend's daughter's car. I never drove it before, he said. I was using the hand signals and everything. But attorney Kayla Lee said Lincoln's caper poses a huge safety risk. Nobody wants to hit somebody in a Barbie car, and drivers aren't looking for Barbie cars in the roadway. Lincoln was charged with prohibited driving and DUI. And finally, wild burros, a federally protected species, are being targeted in inland California, the Associated Press reported. On September 9th, a female burro, now called Cupid, was spotted with an arrow protruding from her right shoulder. Animal Services and the Riverside County Sheriff's Department worked together to bring her in for emergency surgery. At least 6 donkeys have been shot with arrows since June, the Peaceful Valley Donkey Rescue Group said. And the group is offering a $24,000 reward for information about who is shooting the donkeys. In the meantime, Cupid is recovering from surgery and will be returned to her herd when she is well. And there you have it, friends. News of the Weird. Yes, of course, by the editors of Andrew McNeil Syndication for UExpress.com. And it all starts with Chuck Shepard, who has a legacy in his own right. When we come back, we'll look at that first article of the night of Why is Oktoberfest in September. We'll be back with more of The Positive Vibe right after this.
Have a soft drink, sweetie, and this time sing it with a smile.
You know, all this sweet stuff's just not my style. I'm making my move to Canada Dry. So long the sweet things I'm ready to try. Ginger ale, crisp and light, less sweet and so right. I'm changing my taste, I'm raising my sight. She's making her move to Canada Dry.
Which cereal has more vitamin nutrition than any other? Kellogg's Product 19 cereal. But you'd never guess.
Oh?
Because Product 19 vitamins are flaky, bumpy, crispy, crunchy, and taste so good. Product 19 goodness comes from corn, oats, wheat, and rice.
Delicious.
Kellogg's Product 19.
Flaky.
Bumpy.
Crispy. Crunchy.
Tasty vitamins.
Help keep your world cool and beautiful. Wear new Summeralls this summer.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a former drill sergeant make a terrible therapist?
And that's why yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad?
You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
Tissue? Cry, baby.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
If you were gonna cook up some burgers tonight, you'd wanna broil them on a grill, make them taste just right. You put them on a fire, a real hot flame. You wouldn't fry them in a pan, wouldn't taste the same. You'd make them come out juicy if you did them yourself. It's got to be just as good. You want it just as good when you leave it to somebody else. And that's why we do it like you do it when we do it like we do it at Burger King. We do it like you would do it when we do it like we do it at Burger King. We do it like you do it when we do it like we do it at Burger King. We do it like you would do it when we do it like we do it. The only way to do it, we do it like we do it at Burger King.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband. Lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Swoot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Named Swoot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back. We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Named Swoot.
Named Sfoot. Yeah, Sfoot the rabbit. But in other ways, Claire Nowick says October's namesake month barely gets to take part in the festivities, Oktoberfest, that is. So why is Oktoberfest in September? Here's what to know. Well, Oktoberfest is a German tradition known worldwide for its beer, delicious food, and celebration of German culture. It's a chance to put aside differences, raise a glass, and shout Prost. That's cheers in German. Given the name, one would think it would also be a chance to celebrate the great month of October, and it is. What's shocking, though, is that this festival's namesake month barely gets to take part in the festivities. So why is Oktoberfest in September? And given that weird fact, why is it called Oktoberfest in the first place? Well, whether you're a German looking to celebrate this year or a first-time American reveler, we have all the details below. And of course, you don't have to be German to enjoy Oktoberfest. People of all backgrounds can come together to celebrate their communities, and here's how to do that. So, the majority of Oktoberfest takes place in September, which makes this holiday seem like one of the world's biggest misnomers. And the festival runs 16 to 18 days, depending on the year. This year, Oktoberfest 2025, starts on Saturday, September 20th, which was this past Saturday, and goes through Sunday, October 5th. Here are the future Oktoberfest dates for 2026 and beyond. And as you can see, it'll start on September 19th, run through October 4th. Next year, in 2027, it'll go to September 18th to October 3rd. And on 2028, September 16th to Tuesday, October 3rd. However, when Oktoberfest began way back in 1810, it did take place entirely in October from the 12th to the 17th. You'll have to learn about Oktoberfest's history to know exactly why Oktoberfest starts in September. The first Oktoberfest celebrated the marriage between Bavarian Crown Prince Ludwig and Princess Therese von Sachsen, Hildburghausen. Wow. Hildburghausen, what a name. It lasted 5 days, during which the citizens of Munich were invited to eat and drink to their heart's content while listening to live music and watching parades. The party ended with a horse race at the edge of town. It was such a success that the celebration grew to become an annual festival, complete with every attraction that made the first so enjoyable. And as the festival got longer, the starting Oktoberfest dates were moved into September because the days were longer and the weather was warmer. Visitors could stay out later to enjoy the gardens and the famous fields that make up the festival grounds without getting chilly. While in an effort to adhere to the original dates, albeit loosely, the last weekend of modern Oktoberfest always takes place in October, usually ending on the first Sunday of the month. If the first Sunday in October is the first or second of the month, the festival is extended slightly to run until Monday or Tuesday, whichever day October 3rd falls on. This is so that it can coincide with the public holiday Tag der Deutschen Einheit, or Day of German Unity. Germans call this a good year, and we can't argue with that. Oktoberfest gets its name from the German word Oktober, which means, you guessed it, October. Festivals worldwide, including many in the United States, often use the German spelling to pay homage to the event's Bavarian heritage, though you will find a few celebrators opting for October. Well, Oktoberfest is the ultimate beer bash held every year in Munich, Germany, on a massive 100-acre party zone called Theresienwiese, right in the heart of the city. But you don't have to fly to Germany to join the fun. Communities all over the United States throw their own Oktoberfest shindigs, bringing the Bavarian spirit stateside with plenty of beer, bratwurst, and good vibes. And no, you don't need tickets for Oktoberfest if you're attending the event in Germany. Even better, the festival is free and anyone can join the activities. Just be ready to wait in line as security checks bags to ensure everyone can kick back and enjoy the festivities safely. Well, Oktoberfest beer is all about the Marzen, a classy German amber lager, bursting with a rich and bready malt goodness. The taste is described as being balanced by just the right amount of bitterness and a dry finish that makes you want to take another sip. And while Marzen in the United States is brewed in March and aged until fall, the actual Oktoberfest festival serves up paler brews, more like the classic German lagers we know, similar to the Dortmunder style. Well, there's no dress code for Oktoberfest, but the real fun happens when you embrace the Bavarian spirit with traditional attire known as Tracht. For the ladies, that means donning a dirndl, a sleeveless dress paired with a blouse and apron, just like the St. Pauli girl. Gents rock lederhosen, those iconic embroidered leather shorts with suspenders, usually worn with a plaid or white shirt, and dressing up isn't required, but it definitely cranks up the festival vibes. Women wear bows on their dirndl to indicate their relationship status. If the bow is on the left, that means she's single. If the bow is on the right, that means she's taken. Meanwhile, a bow tied in the center can symbolize being a widow, their role as a server, or their virginity. And there you have it, all the sources and all the good stuff of why this holiday, being known as Oktoberfest, is celebrated in September. And Claire Nowak, well, she's a writer, editor, and digital strategist whose natural curiosity lends itself to delving into history, knowledge, and did you know type stories. She's a former editor at Reader's Digest, and she has more than a decade of experience reporting on facts, trivia, and quotes, and her work also appears in Taste of Home, The Family Man, and Urban Milwaukee. Great job, Claire. Thank you very much for that fantastic article. When we come back, we'll look at the next one of when is the first day of fall, which I think was supposed to be yesterday, the autumnal equinox in 2025, followed by autumn versus fall. Excuse me, why Americans say fall and not autumn. We'll be back with those stories and a whole lot more right after these very important messages.
All of my work as carpenter and painter is paying off. You wouldn't believe the change in this place, or for that matter, the change in me. I colored my hair with Nice and Easy. The color looks like I was born with it, and it feels like a whole new head of hair. Jim asked me how I do it all, mother, maintenance person, and beautiful blonde. I told him, Nice and Easy, that's my style.
If you're getting pumped for basketball, pumped for cross-training, pumped for aerobics, or pumped for tennis, get the full effect of all the new Reebok pumps at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Before you slip on something silky, or put on anything at all. Before you dress, caress. Caress with bath oil. Can't dry your skin the way soap can. Before you dress, caress.
When the person who doctors the family gets a cough and cold, everyone suffers.
Mom, someone took my sleeve.
I ironed it myself. Time to doctor that cough with Robitussin, because more doctors and pharmacists recommend Robitussin than any other cough medicine.
Look, Mom's feeling better. Uh-oh.
Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Which Robitussin is right for you? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. And also try Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
Peggy Fox, would your glass cleaner clean lipstick without streaking?
I don't know.
Try Glass Plus. Mrs. Fox has never used Glass Plus before.
I think it's great.
Now look at this greasy stove. Would you use a glass cleaner on that?
No.
Try Glass Plus. It cleans more than glass.
It did it. The stove looks great. I'm very surprised.
Glass Plus cleans glass.
Plus, a whole lot more.
The very next time you get a busy signal,
Where's the plumber?
try the busy signal fix. Press *66. Repeat dialing. It redials for half an hour and rings you back when the other line's free. You don't have to subscribe, just use it.
Hello. Ideal Plumbing?
*66, the busy signal fix from 9X. 75 cents per use plus cost of call.
All of my work as carpenter and painter is paying off. You wouldn't believe the change in this place, or for that matter, the change in me. I colored my hair with Nice and Easy. The color looks like I was born with it, and it feels like a whole new head of hair. Jim asked me how I do it all, mother, maintenance person, and beautiful blonde. I told him, Nice and Easy, that's my style.
If you're getting pumped for basketball, pumped for cross-training, pumped for aerobics, or pumped for tennis, get the full effect of all the new Reebok pumps at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Before you slip on something silky, or put on anything at all. Before you dress, caress. Caress with bath oil. Can't dry your skin the way soap can. Before you dress, caress.
When the person who doctors the family gets a cough and cold, everyone suffers.
Mom, someone took my sleeve.
I ironed it myself. Time to doctor that cough with Robitussin, because more doctors and pharmacists recommend Robitussin than any other cough medicine.
Look, Mom's feeling better. Uh-oh.
Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Which Robitussin is right for you? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. And also try Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
Piggy Fox, would your glass cleaner clean lipstick without streaking?
I don't know.
Try Glass Plus. Mrs. Fox has never used Glass Plus before.
I think it's great.
Now look at this greasy stove. Would you use a glass cleaner on that?
No.
Try Glass Plus. It cleans more than glass.
It did it. The stove looks great. I'm very surprised.
Glass Plus cleans glass.
Plus, a whole lot more.
The very next time you get a busy signal, try the busy signal fix. Press star 66. Repeat dialing. It redials for half an hour and rings you back when the other line's free. You don't have to subscribe, just use it.
Hello. Ideal Plumbing?
Star 66, the busy signal fix from 9X. 75 cents per use plus cost of call.
All right, welcome back to the Positive Vibe. Sorry about that. We went off the air there for a minute. Little interruption, but we got back on as quickly as we possibly could and went on with our commercials. All right, next up on the articles of today, when is the first day of fall? The autumnal equinox in 2025. Krista Carruthers says, ready for sweater weather? Well, read on for surprising facts about the first day of fall, aka apple picking and leaf peeping season. Are you suddenly in the mood to read fall quotes and plan for fun fall activities? We can't say we blame you, as the first day of fall is approaching. Come September, you can start your fall reset plan, and if you've got a case of wanderlust, plan a trip to see the eye-catching fall foliage. But how much do you really know about the first day of fall? Well, when does it usually occur, and what causes the shift from summer to fall anyway? Turns out there's plenty of interesting information about the first day of fall and the autumnal equinox. So keep reading to learn more about the first day of fall. You want to brush up on your facts before it arrives. Excuse me. First day of fall in the Northern Hemisphere is Monday, September 22nd, which is today. And below are the future dates for the first day of fall. Next year, it'll be on Tuesday, September 22nd, Wednesday, September 22nd in 2027, and then on Friday in 2028 on September 22nd. Wow. No, the first day of fall is not always on September 22nd. The autumnal equinox typically takes place on the 22nd or 23rd of September, and the date varies from year to year due to the Gregorian calendar, which defines a year as 365 days, while it takes the Earth 364 and a quarter days to completely orbit the sun. However, there are some exceptions. For example, the equinox occurred on September 21st in 1931 and the year 1000, and it's set to land on the 21st again in 2092. Don't hold your breath for a September 24th equinox, though. Fall won't officially begin on that date until 2303. The word equinox is Latin for equal night, and it's the date when, in most places on Earth, the daylight lasts just about as long as the nighttime. The fall equinox specifically marks the midpoint between the summer solstice in June, when Northern Hemisphere days are at their longest, up to about 24 hours, with the sun setting in the polar regions, and the long, dark nights of the winter solstice in December, when the sun never rises in the polar regions. On the fall equinox, also known as the autumnal equinox, the center of the sun is above the horizon for exactly 12 hours. But we consider the sun to be rising when the lip of it just comes into view, which can happen a few minutes before the center at sunset, even once the sun's center has dipped below the horizon. It takes a few more minutes for the rest of it to disappear. Plus, according to timeanddate.com, during the moments of at the very beginning of the sunrise and the very end of the sunset, when there's only a tiny bit of sun visible to us, we're actually seeing the image refracted by Earth's atmosphere. It bends the light around to us even before Earth has rotated far enough for the edge of the sun to clear the horizon. What time is the 2025 fall equinox? Starts exactly at 2:19 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. After that, the Northern Hemisphere will get less direct light from the sun, and it will get chillier by the week. If you live in a different time zone, the fall equinox will begin at these times listed right here. So how will you know when the first day of fall is here or near? And here's what to look for. The color of the leaves. Of course, you will see the leaves colors changing with gold and crimson hues signaling the arrival of fall. The migration of birds. Birds like nightingales and swallows will start heading south in search of warmer climates. And the weather will start getting crisper, particularly in the mornings as autumn approaches. And the squirrels will be out in full force at this time of year, collecting ripe brown acorns and hiding nuts for their winter supplies. And now that you know when the first day of fall will arrive, celebrate the day and the season with a few fascinating fall facts. Some of them may surprise you. Like at the moment of the equinox, when the sun's rays are concentrated on the side of the earth, the sun is directly above the equator. Fall in the northern hemisphere begins just as the earth progresses a little bit farther on in our orbit, and the sun's radiation then focuses more on the southern hemisphere when spring begins and keeps bathing the earth's southern half in extra light until the next equinox in March. And although eggs don't behave much differently on the first day of fall, some satellites are vulnerable to disruptions. Lots of them orbit around the equator, so when the sun is shining directly on them during the equinox, the unusually high amount of solar radiation could lead to slow internet connections and staticky radios, according to National Geographic. Though these sun outages can happen during the days before and after the equinox too. Luckily, they usually last only a few minutes. And although the first day of fall doesn't attract quite the modern celebrations that the spring equinox and the summer solstice do, the ancient Mayans really played it up. At Chichen Itza on the Yucatan Peninsula, the pyramid of Kukulkan, or Kukulkan, also known as El Castillo, is a pyramid with 365 steps. That's one for each day of the year. On the fall and spring equinoxes, a shadow appears on the pyramid surface that looks like a serpent descending the steps toward a stone head at the bottom. Scientists say that at the September equinox, the chances of catching the northern lights increase for those located in the northern hemisphere. And these equinoxes are the best time for the northern lights because geomagnetic activities are twice as likely to occur during autumn and spring rather than winter or summer. Snap a photo of the lights to post within a picture-perfect fall caption. There you have it. Thanks to all of these people, and of course, for another great look at why we have that fall, what I like to call the autumn, the fall equinox, or the autumnal equinox. And we're going to be looking at one more article, the autumnal equinox. I love that word. Such an interesting word. When we come back, we'll look at autumn versus fall and why Americans say fall and not autumn. And of course, our daily motivation of the day will wrap up this program. We have our commercials coming up right now with more of the positive vibe right after this.
Want a cold capsule, Eddie?
Baby, that capsule's just for head colds. I'm also coughing. My throat is scratchy. I feel achy. I need some rest. I want
NyQuil.
NyQuil.
Vicks NyQuil, nighttime cold medicine, relieves more major cold symptoms than the leading capsule. Relieves them for hours, so it lets you get the rest you need.
You treat me like a king, Laurie.
You got a cold tonight? Put NyQuil to work.
Well, howdy. Let me guess. You've been waiting for Cool Ranch flavored Doritos, and I can't say I blame you. Creamy, Cool Ranch seasoning. And those ingredients, what are we talking there? Maybe a tomato, an onion or two? See, this is what your storytellers might call a cornucopia of nature's treasures. And that's why no other chip tastes like Cool Ranch, and no other crunch can jumpstart your horse.
Cool Ranch flavored Doritos brand tortilla chips. One heck of a crunch.
Why not start their morning in a warm way? Smooth.
Apples.
Creamy.
Raisins.
Delicious.
Peaches and cream.
I feel better when he has a warm breakfast. Anything's Quaker's flavors are
hot stuff.
With instant Quaker oatmeal, you can really make their morning.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
It's finally the day. Something big's going on in a really big way.
Guess what? It's Big Mac's birthday, and you're all invited to McDonald's for a 99-cent Big Mac. Hot off the grill and delicious for just 99 cents.
So hurry, 10 days only from June 28th to July 7th.
Have a Big Mac for just 99 cents and say happy birthday to Big Mac.
It's the good time for the great taste.
Happy birthday, Big Mac to you.
In a national taste test, Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa Mix was compared with Carnation. What happened? Swiss Miss, it beat Carnation almost 2-1.
Yes, it did. And that, of course, is Judd Hirsch from Taxi. Hope you enjoyed those commercials. We have retromercials here on our program. Retromercials are older than at least 10 years. Could go all the way up to as many as 50 or 60 years old. So if you see these retromercials, remember, we have them here on the program, ready for you to enjoy. Remember when the times were much simpler. All right, going now to our final look at some of the interesting articles we have here. What is this? What's it doing? Autumn versus fall. Why Americans say fall and not autumn. Yeah, we'll take a look at that one right now. As Emily D'Annunzio says, is it fall or autumn or both? And here's what to know about using autumn versus fall when talking about the season of pumpkin spice. The air gets crisp, the leaves start to turn, and we break out our cozy sweaters. Of course, we are talking about the first day of fall, also known as the season of pumpkin spice and everything nice. But like the falling leaves and cooling temperatures, there's a debate that happens every year. Autumn versus fall. And although both refer to the same season, Americans tend to say fall more than autumn. Why is that, though? Is there some unspoken grammar rule we don't know about? If fall is your favorite season, whether for the tart, crisp apples or autumnal footage, you want to know what we've learned about the word autumn versus fall. Keep reading to find out on the details. The pre-winter season of apple cider and colorful leaves goes by either autumn or fall. The words are synonyms. And here's a fun fact. Neither is the oldest term for the season. As Merriam-Webster points out, harvest is the earliest name, and it was in use before the 12th century. It led to some confusion, though. After all, harvest referred to both the time people usually harvested crops and the actual harvesting of crops. Autumn, a word dating back to the late 1300s, became popular as an alternative. The word fall likely stems from the fall of the leaves or falling of the leaves, phrases poets used according to Merriam-Webster. And people shortened the phrase to the single word fall in the 1600s. The English Empire grew, followed by the eventual independence of the United States. From there, time, distance, and new freedom contributed to the many differences in English spoken in America and Britain. So who says in autumn and who says fall? Well, fall is the word of choice in the United States, and autumn is the go-to in Britain. Although both fall and autumn stem from England, autumn was more widely used for a long time, though both have seen their popularity rise and fall. Come on, did you really think we'd pass on the pun? It wasn't until the 1800s that American English and British English took unofficial stances on these words. It's still unclear why America clings so strongly to fall. Some speculate it has something to do with daylight savings time, as in spring forward, fall back. And other than the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa use the term autumn instead of fall. Canada uses both terms. The good news, it's acceptable to use either autumn or fall when referring to the season filled with brightly hued trees and fun fall activities, like visits to the apple orchard and pumpkin patch. And if you want to be more formal, you could choose autumn for both speaking and writing. Yep, there you have it. Emily D'Annunzio, she has more than 6 years experience writing for publications and brands about everything from health and wellness to food and money. She's a data-informed and creatively led writer who combines strategy, research, and originality into her work. Thank you, Emily, for a great story as to the real reason of either to use autumn or fall. There's one for a program for versus autumn versus fall. Which one would you choose? I'll let you know what my answer is going to be when we come back with more of the positive vibe and a look at what holiday is today and a few other goodies, and wrap it up, the daily motivation of the day. All of this and more when we come back right after this.
It's the quick, thick, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish. It's the clean, green, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish.
Swish's thick green liquid clings to the bowl, clings to the rim, and it cleans as it clings. It deep cleans, it fights rust, and nicest of all, Swish releases a fresh cut fragrance.
It's the quick, thick, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish. It's the clean, green, liquid bowl cleaner new Swish.
It cleans as it clings.
It's not the 4th of July, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not even Christmas. It's better than all those. It's Crazy Eddie Day. You'll save money like never before during Crazy Eddie's Crazy Eddie Day sale with the guaranteed lowest prices on anything and everything in home entertainment. Shop around, get the lowest sale prices you can find, then go to Crazy Eddie and he'll beat them. It's Crazy Eddie Day. Save big, big, big bucks during Crazy Eddie's Crazy Eddie Day sale. Crazy Eddie, his prices are insane. Thanks a lot.
Lipton tea you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Now there's something new under the sun. Introducing Lipton Decaffeinated Instant Iced Tea.
Ooh, Lipton tea you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Yes, Lipton also has a decaffeinated instant tea any way you like it, with sugar, with NutraSweet, or unsweetened. Delicious.
Ooh, Lipton tea you made new, decaffeinated just for us.
You know, to clarify butter is particularly simple. All you do is put half a pound of butter into a saucepan. After 10 minutes, it looks like this with a foam on the top. You skim the foam off the top and place that into one Dixie cup. Then you take, when you've got all the foam off, and you pour the clear, clarified butter into the other Dixie cup. And it keeps beautifully, you know. You can fry with this, you can butter vegetables with this one. And don't forget, in Dixie cups.
Ice cream, Carvel ice cream. We make fresh ice cream every day at Carvel Ice Cream. America's freshest ice cream every way at Carvel Ice Cream. Fresh Carvel ice cream.
Okay, we're back and ready to go now for the national holidays of today. And boy, we got a good one for you. And I think you might find this interesting considering we had that Carvel ice cream commercial. Look at National Ice Cream Cone Day. Yeah. In the mood for a interesting treat during the fall time? Well, yeah, from the dawn of time, everyone from philosophers to the man or woman on the street has scratched their confused heads over this mind-boggling question. How can you hold and eat ice cream in your hands without making a mess? Well, this day of September 22nd, celebrate the long-awaited answer, National Ice Cream Cone Day, by taking a bite into America's favorite way to eat a cool, sweet treat. Before the invention of the ice cream cone, there was no good solution to the hassle, not to mention the mess, of eating an ice cream without dripping the stuff down your arms or down your chin and ruining your clothes. But thanks to this so simple, it's incredible, nobody thought of it earlier invention, now we're free to indulge ice cream cones in waffle style, pretzel, chocolate coated, wafer, sugar, and more. So feel free to enjoy these waning hot days by getting your favorite cone, ours is sugar, and celebrate National Ice Cream Cone Day. Yeah, so making ice cream cones is not nearly as hard as it seems. You don't even need a waffle press to make a fresh and delicious cone for your ice cream. Now get to it. And much simpler than making your own cones, go try out that new ice cream parlor down the street. Search for ice cream on Yelp and see where your ice cream adventure takes you. Don't limit your choices because happily ice cream, sorbet, gelato, and soft serve also come on cones. Buy a pack of standard sugar cones and decorate them. Dip in chocolate, add sprinkles, white chocolate and dark chocolate stripes, plus a little food color. Get creative and be prepared for your next ice cream party. And why we love the ice cream cone day? Well, part of the appeal of the ice cream cone is the added textures and flavors that it adds to your dessert. Chocolate ice cream is made infinitely better when you add a pretzel cone, or adding a crunchy vanilla cone to your mango sorbet makes the dessert much more dynamic. Besides being a delicious addition to the ice cream treat that you're holding in your hand, every time you eat ice cream in a cone, you're doing the planet a favor by not using a plastic disposable spoon and cup. So love the planet and enjoy your ice cream at the same time. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. Cone or cup? It's a classic question for America's ice cream lovers. While this point is open to some discussion, maybe a thing to discuss over your ice cream with friends, but obviously cones rule and cups drool. And next year, the ice cream cone day will be on Tuesday. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more here. Let's see. I like the food ones. They're fun. We did the first day of autumn, so let's see. Anything else? Oh, well, here we go for all you white chocolate people out there. How about White Chocolate Day? Yeah. If we looked at ice cream cones, why not? White chocolate seems like a paradox. How can white and chocolate exist at the same time on the same cookie or in that same vat of ice cream? All we can say is it can happen. And National White Chocolate Day is proof positive that this delicious combo rates its own special day. Although the FDA officially recognized white chocolate as being chocolate in 2004, the question of its authenticity is still being hotly debated even today. We say there's no time for arguing when we could be celebrating National White Chocolate Day in the only logical fashion by finding the nearest cookie, cake, or even liqueur that includes luscious white chocolate basking in non-debatable sweet, creamy goodness. Yep, here's the timeline. Started in 1930, as it made its debut in Europe, to 1945, a new version is created on the side of the pond. 1948, the first mass-distributed white chocolate bar comes to the United States, and that's the Alpine White Bar, the Nestle product, the very cool one that didn't hit popularity till the 80s. And then in 2004, it's official. White chocolate is a thing. Yeah, after 10 years of petitioning by chocolate manufacturers, the FDA finally agreed to expand its definition of chocolate, making white chocolate officially part of the chocolate family. Excuse me. So instead of the usual non-fat, no sugar or cream coffee you dutifully make and sip with a sigh each morning, just for this one day, try melting a few white chocolate chips into a steaming cup of cocoa for a luscious alternative. You'll thank yourself and us tomorrow when your usual coffee tastes better than ever. White chocolate-covered pretzels create the perfect snacking storm. Creamy, salty, sweet, and crunchy. And if you've never had this unique pleasure, may we suggest you take this day as permission to dig in. And although truffles are considered one of the most decadent of all sweet treats, if you're new to candy making, truffles are the 101 level. Many truffles are made by simply warming a white chocolate mixture shaped into balls, then rolling each ball in coconut flakes, chopped nuts, or sprinkles. And you can also dip the white chocolate balls into melted chocolate before rolling them in these toppings. Bonus, if you need a quick but thoughtful gift idea, this DIY is no truffle at all. And why white chocolate isn't chocolate? Wait, it really is. Well, the official definition of chocolate in the U.S. says it must include a certain percentage of cocoa solids and the source of dark chocolate color and aroma, which are not present in white chocolate. So white chocolate does contain cocoa butter, which may have been the deciding factor in the FDA's decision to grant it official chocolate status after a mere 10 years of presentations, pleading, and pressure from chocolate manufacturers. There are good, real, and not so good fake versions of white chocolate out there, so look for products with a creamy pale yellow color, but no food coloring added, made with at least 20% cocoa butter. Less may extend its shelf life, but how long is it likely to sit on the shelf anyways? And why we love National White Chocolate Day? Well, let's face it. Brown food isn't incredibly exciting even when it's chocolate. Pairing white chocolate with chocolate creates an exciting color contrast. Think "Happy Birthday to Me" written in white chocolate on a dark chocolate cake. White chocolate is what makes those novelty coffee concoctions so delicious. It's a lusciously creamy addition to anything from cookies to frosting, and it fulfills one simple but critical need: what to pair with macadamia nuts. And white chocolate does tend to be sweeter than its darker counterparts, so it just takes a smidgen in your favorite dessert recipe to elevate it to Viennese coffee house status. Excuse us while we mix up some cookies with macadamia nuts. There we go. Next year, it'll be on a Tuesday. All right, let's take a look and find one more here. Once we scroll down, I think that's all we're going to find today. Okay. Then the birthdays. All right, two good ones. And we'll, of course, look on Wednesday's edition of The Positive Vibe to see where we're going to be today. Well, it's time for the motivation of the day. So why not? Let's type it in. Okay. The Daily Motivator, of course, our wonderful friend Ralph Marston is once again going to describe a little ditty that will give you a positive vibe to end your day by doing a little. Yep. The little boring chores make the big exciting adventures possible. The small tedious tasks help to prevent the big overwhelming problems. It's quick and easy to put forth a small but effective effort. Indeed, it's so easy you can do it over and over again. And that's a key pathway to massive achievement. Those small efforts are accessible, repeatable, and they add up. Value is built over time, and time is always coming your way. So fill the time in a manner that preserves its irreplaceable treasure. Transform the fleeting moments into small, enduring bits of progress. And as you move forward, you can assemble those small bits into large and meaningful accomplishments. Do a little now, a little later, a little tomorrow, and keep going. It soon adds up to be a lot. Thank you, Ralph Marston, for another great daily motivator. And we'll have those daily motivators each and every time you join us here on the program. We're here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So episode 4 will be this Wednesday, September 24th. And I'm Jason DeCanio, thanking you very much for another great show. We hope that you had fun with this one. We apologize for the delay in our on our recording, but this will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. And I'm happy to say that our YouTube channel now currently stands at 146 subscribers. We just gained a subscriber today. Thank you for joining the family. And we are only 54 subscribers away from 200. So if we can get to 200 by the end of the year, that'd be great. By the end of October would be even better. Whichever way we do it, join us if you haven't subscribed. Thank you very much for another great episode. We will see you not tomorrow, Wednesday. Till then, I'm Jason DeCanio. Be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Have a great day. Bye-bye.